Since I don't have too much work going on and I have a little bit of time, I want to talk about a vegetable we don't raise, but we get a lot of questions about. Good morning, everybody. How you doing today? My name's Andrew.
I'm Tracy.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Grandpa.
I'm Matt.
I'm Gavin.
I'm Aunt Becky.
And we're some of the Veggie Boys. And we'd like to thank you for stopping by. Hey everyone, we have got some stormy weather on our hands today. It is raining like crazy. The wind is blowing. We're expected to get 2 inches of rain today, and the rain's not the only problem we could have because of the tomatoes. This high wind is not good for the sweet corn. Now, we don't plan on doing too much picking today. We got a lot of that accomplished yesterday, so we didn't have to worry about it. And the store's not usually too busy on a day like this when it's storming. I was just standing here and I hear crashing over in that little wooded area. I think a tree just fell over. We're having some really high winds, and when the moisture starts to soak in, those trees just fall right over. So, I don't know, we're just trying to stay safe today. It's a crazy day out here. So I've spent much of my day watching my basement because of all this rain that we've had. I'm a little gun shy when it rains a lot. My basement likes to flood. I just wanted to show you what we did with all of our bins and pumpkins. Now, we put a lot of the stuff away, but it's harder for you to sell it when it's away, even though there isn't too many customers here. So we took a tarp and put it all over our pumpkins. You can see how much rain we've had. That's like full. Oh, it's been a lot of rain. So you probably guessed it, we really haven't got too much going on today. We can't get out into the fields, it's too muddy. And a lot of the produce would be muddy because of how hard it was raining. It was splashing a lot of that mud up.
This is what we do on a rainy day. Playing Go Fish.
Oh yeah.
So for the end of our day yesterday, we spent a lot of time tarping stuff, putting everything away, and getting ready to deal with all this rain. We don't know how bad this is gonna affect the tomatoes. We haven't had a chance to go back and look at them. We are expecting some more rain. It hasn't stopped completely yet, but there's just not much you can do about it. Are we doing okay in here? And to help you appreciate how much work we have going on today, Joel's already gone home, and it's like 1:30. Now, even on a rainy day, there's a lot of jobs that farmers could do, and we have an extra job because of the farm market. So we always have someone watching the farm market, no matter if it's a sunny or a rainy day. So what's the farm market been like today?
A little quiet because we had a lot of rain this morning, but now it's starting to pick up.
Now, a lot of people ask me about what you guys do in the farm market. So what's like your big job?
Well, as soon as we come in the morning, we clean everything and you guys put everything out, and then is take care of customers all day long. That's pretty much all I do.
So Grammy, on a rainy day where there's not much going on, what are you doing?
Making salsa, canning red beets, and making jelly. You know, the usual.
Now, what kind of salsa were you making? What kind of jelly were you making?
Today, mild salsa. Jelly is tomato jelly. I had a request, so I have to make it.
Now, some of you may have never had tomato jelly. It's pretty good. It's a little on the sweeter side. It's just like a sweet tomato flavor. Really good on toast. Whew.
Crackers and cream cheese.
Good too, that's good too. And what are you doing in the back of the farm market?
I'm bagging things up. I had to bag up some elbow macaroni today, and I did up some peach rings. And another thing I'm doing, Andrew, is I'm ordering all of the products that we need for the farm market.
Yeah, when it comes to all of the bulk foods that we provide here, there's a lot. There is a lot of stuff. And that's why the girls are always back here working, because as my mom was doing, they're boxing things up, putting it out for the customers. So a big job is staying on top of what we need. So we always have an order every week, and it's about 2 or 3 pallets large. So the big things we're worrying about on a day like today is keeping the farm market filled up and making sure none of the animals get out. Because sometimes trees fall on the fence, and then the cows run free. But hopefully we don't have that problem. It's not too often where you'll get days like this, where we almost can't do anything. That rain causes a lot of problems. We can't get out into the field with our equipment because we'd get it stuck. And unlike other jobs on the farm, when it comes to picking vegetables, you're out in the weather. You're dealing with the plants. You get soaked from head to toe. And it is not fun to be picking in the wet. And on the farm, we are prepared for days like this. As we get closer to fall and into winter, this is what the weather is. We get the rainy, gloomy days, and it's not much fun for picking. And you can see our upper greenhouse here, our largest greenhouse. It's practically empty now. Well, compared to what it was, there's a lot of empty spaces here because we've been selling so many fall mums. Since I don't have too much work going on and I have a little bit of time, I want to talk about a vegetable we don't raise, but we get a lot of questions about. And that vegetable is carrots. Let me tell you, I cannot tell you the amount of comments that I've had asking me, Do you guys grow carrots? Where are the carrots? And there's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind people asking. I've just been asked it a lot. And I have told people about it in the past, but this is a perfect opportunity to explain why we don't raise carrots. As a lot of you have mentioned, we have a lot of rocks in our soil. When I say a lot of rocks, I mean a lot of rocks. Now, having that many rocks in your soil, it can cause a lot of problems. It's wear and tear on equipment, and it can be hard for some things to grow in that type of soil. But we don't only look at the negatives here, we look at the positive. That rocky soil, it helps to drain our fields, and it adds a lot of nutrients because of the rocks that are there. Now, this is a time when having rocky soil is not conducive to growing a certain vegetable. And that vegetable is carrots. We've grown carrots just for fun as a family. But let me tell you, we have a little bit of a trouble. Now, carrots like a sandy soil. It allows them to grow straight, and it allows you to get a nice size on them. Now, because our soil is rocky, those carrots, let me tell you, they don't stay straight. They are the funkiest looking carrots you've ever seen. I've had carrots grow right into a rock and look like a baseball. It was crazy. Now, although it is funny when you harvest carrots that look all kind of crazy, it's not too easy to sell them. And that's one of the biggest reasons why we don't raise carrots up here in Northeast Pennsylvania. We just can't do it. We've tried. The rocks give us lots of fits. Occasionally, you'll get a nice straight carrot that looks really good, but that's occasionally. It sounds kind of silly not being able to grow something because of the amount of rocks that you have, but it is a big problem. And that's the biggest reason why we don't raise carrots, because it's difficult for us to do. There are a few other things that we don't raise. We used to raise watermelon and cantaloupes, but we don't raise them anymore because of the amount of damage that we would receive from the animals. We also used to raise onions, and we used to raise garlic. But this time of the year, it starts to get very wet in this area, and that makes it difficult for us to harvest because they rot in the soil. And in the past, we have grown a lot of nice onions and a lot of nice garlic, but it's so difficult for us to do, and we've lost crops completely that we don't like to risk it. This is a business. We try and make money to support ourselves, and if we keep planting a crop and we can't make our money back on it, there's not much of a point to plant that crop.
Another thing, we used to have orchards, and we don't do orchards anymore.
I don't know how I forgot the orchards. The orchards were a big thing. We did orchards for about 4 or 5 years, and we were only able to harvest the fruit, I think, 2 years. We had 3 years in a row where freezing, frost, and even hail destroyed our crops completely. Fortunately, the area we live in is filled with agriculture, and we have a lot of people who have orchards, so we get peaches, apples, nectarines, everything very local. And the people we do get the stuff from do a wonderful job. These apples look awesome. And on a rainy day is when stuff like this happens. We had extra bananas, we had extra zucchini. Grammy made banana bread and zucchini bread. Zucchini bread is probably my favorite with some cream cheese on there. Whew. Just about 2 inches. We're expecting to get another ½ inch, so hopefully it comes slowly like this. But since it's raining, I'm just gonna head back in the house. I've got some editing to do. I do a lot more editing than I thought I would do when I first started this. But that's okay, I enjoy making videos. And I think some of you guys enjoy watching them even more, which makes me happy.
You always have to remember, I'm your #1 fan.
Well, it's finally stopped raining, and that's a good thing because Dad and Matt got home from the auction. They picked up a lot of stuff. They were looking for some pumpkins and some fall decorative, things like this, miniature straw bales. I don't know. People like them. So where have you been all day?
Question is, where have you been all day?
So how did the auction go?
It was good. I had to go watch Tracy and Matt because they misbehave sometimes. So I was down there making sure they were doing what they were supposed to be doing.
You gotta keep an eye on them. They're just down there spending money.
It's all about Matt. That's what I know.
So most of the day they were at the auction. It's a rainy day. There wasn't too much going on here. So it was a good day to be at the auction, buying some stuff and bringing it back. So we got all done, closed up the farm market. I wanted to come up above the house. We got our truck back. The head went in it. So that's not good, but we're gonna get it fixed. And this truck will probably be used for picking vegetables, running around on the farm. You can always use a big truck like that around. And I wanted to come up above the house because Matthew and Tracy are working on something.
We're picking grapes.
There you go, Concords. I'll be like, you gotta be very careful because these grapes should have been picked just a few days ago, but we kinda, scheduling conflicts, didn't get up here to get them picked. And so when they're this ripe, they'll fall apart real easy if you let them. So what do you guys plan on doing with your grapes? Grape jelly, and then I was telling Tracy if we had enough, which we're definitely gonna have enough because we have all this to pick and then over there to pick. than if we're gonna make some wine, some Concord grape wine.
Ah, so beautiful.
These are ready here, and those are ready over there that Tracy's picking. But this vine here, you can see there's a ton in here, but none of these ones are really ready yet. I don't know if you can tell on camera, they're still a little like reddish. And the reason for that is because these haven't gotten any sunshine. So actually this whole canopy, if you look like, it looked like this a couple minutes ago. So I'm taking some leaves off so this gets exposed to the sunshine, because the sunshine is what actually ripens up the grapes. Once they get enough sunshine, they'll start turning. And I can't do the afternoon sun, which would be the better sun because of these big old maple trees in the back. So I have to shoot for the morning sun and clean this side off. Now, if you're big into grapes, we don't know too much of what we're doing. We always try our best to handle the grape crop, but we are not professionals. We've only been getting a little more serious about it in the past couple years. So hopefully we keep learning and learning. Now, the only reason for me coming up here wasn't just to see the grapes and see what they have been up to. We're actually looking for spotted lanternfly signs. Now, the spotted lanternfly is a very invasive species that is going through Pennsylvania right now. Now, fortunately for us, we've been doing a little bit of research because the first place we would find them is in our grapes, and we haven't found one. So that's really good for us. Now, the interesting thing is we are in a quarantine county. So there is that insect in our local area. We actually had to go and get certified by Penn State just to be able to ship things out of our county.
One take Matthew.
One take Matthew, that's me. That's not a spotted lanternfly, you're good. That just looks like a centipede.
Don't worry, guys. It's not a spotted lanternfly.
I had to take a course because even though the spotted lanternfly is only in the local area in Pennsylvania, it's kind of moving into New Jersey now. It's more going that way. We had to get that because what they like to do is they're hitchhikers, basically, is how they like to travel. They jump onto trucks and people and anything moving, and that's how they cover long distances. And they don't turn into a problem really quick, but in a few years they could be a really bad problem. They really like to eat grapes, they really like to eat ornamental trees, and they will eat everything. They will kill everything if you let them. So I had to get certified to know what the eggs look like. They like to lay their eggs on hard surfaces, so that way we're able to check all of our trucks, all of our farm equipment, all of our barns. Anytime we see them, we're supposed to get rid of them, and so that way we can do our part to make sure that the spread is slowed and hopefully stopped. Now, the thing that's interesting with these bugs and why it becomes such a problem, according to Pennsylvania State University, there is no natural predators in the state of Pennsylvania. So these bugs, if they get into an area, they can just run rampant. But upon our inspection today, we have not seen any lanternfly. We haven't seen any eggs. We haven't seen any signs, so that's good for us. Alrighty, we are all finished with work. We're up at the house. We're getting ready for dinner. Now tonight we're having tacos. How did making tacos go?
It's good. Easy to make.
Now I see how dinner was able to be made.
I'm babysitting Grandpa.
Yeah, so I know we didn't have too much going on today, but I wanted to talk about the carrots. That was a big thing. And we took some time to check for those lanternflies. We don't want them in this area. We've seen a few, but every time we see them, we get rid of them right away. No, we're just hoping they don't come to us. Alrighty, so now everybody's sitting down for dinner. Weather's over, so that means this is where we're gonna end the video. We wanna thank everyone for watching, and we hope to see you next time. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.